All right, guys. So we're going to continue with our side control escapes. Anytime you're thinking about your escapes, or not even escapes, really anything in general, you got to think about if you want to do something, what do you give up in that process? And I say this all the time, Jiu Jitsu does not care what you want to do. It only cares about what's correct, right? What is correct? What are we following? We're following the laws of physics, right? We're following what is correct. And, sometimes we want to do a certain thing and it works against certain people, but other times it does not. Especially as you go against more advanced guys. Well, the same thing goes for side escapes. A lot of times we want to push away and create space. And while you can actually do that, that can work by just bench pressing someone off of you. It is energy intensive. But even worse than that is that you give up control of the lever. My student may find this funny. I don't know if he knows about this or not, but I credit him for this. I gave a black belt to a guy in California named Max. And Max was born without the use of this is his right leg. He didn't have a leg basically from like just below the knee down. And he was missing some fingers as well. And he was born that way. And, the way that he grew up, he played basketball. He did a bunch of sports. He did all these things. He was in a big movie. He was in Matilda, the movie. But he achieved a lot of different things. Awesome kid. Amazing individual. And he was nasty on the mat. If you were not minding your P's and Q's, he was going to catch you whether you were a black belt or not. A lot of trickery involved. And I thought a lot about his journey. I was like, man, what did this guy have to go through to finally get his black belt or to even just be good at jiu-jitsu? And I thought about the disadvantages that he had. But I also thought about there's got to be some advantages that he has. And he allowed me to kind of think about jiu-jitsu in a different way, just by thinking about, the body that he inherited and what he had to deal with grappling on the mat. It's okay, it might be a little bit easier to get around that leg that he's missing, but it also is way more difficult to control that leg that is missing. And it's also easier for him to get that leg back in play a lot of times and give you a hard time. So I started thinking about that. I was like, well, where is it an advantage and where is it a disadvantage? When we're talking about side control, and I've taught you guys some moves from top position of what we want to do with their arms first. We weaken them first. Josh, come here for a second. Traditionally, right, we use these arms and we extend. Okay. I'm in side control. You go to push me off. You shrimp your body. You get your guard back in play. Now, I'm back in your guard. Cool. So what I like to do is I try to get these out of the way. I want to get on the inside of that lever and control you either here, right? From here, it's going to be really difficult for you to escape. Okay. Now I can also do that here. I can also do that here. I can also do that here. So by me controlling kind of the levers of your body, I can stick you to the mat pretty well. I'm pulling these things off the mat now, and this is mine now. Very, very difficult. So I was imagining, well, do we want to use our arms when we escape? Are these helping us or hurting us? What are the cost benefits of using our limbs in that regard? And that's all I knew as far as escapes. Okay. When I would bridge, I would, I told you about that move that, I kind of came up with from when I was a brown belt where I keep my elbows on the inside. And when I bridge as one unit. I don't extend with my arms. These are on the inside. And when I bridge, my hip and my shoulder move at the same time. Then I create my kind of V or triangle formation, keeping my arms on the inside. This arm is extended. It's extended kind of to check their hip or their leg if they want to circle, right? But it's pinned to the ground so you can't really lift it up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we did last time. Now, the formation of my body is such my shoulders are curled down that if you want to put a force on me, it's going to be really tough for you to flatten me back out. If my shoulder's here, I'm on the side of my hip, but my shoulder's out, all you got to do is lean on that damn thing, and I get pinned to the floor again. And that sucks, especially if I work so hard just to get there. So I'm looking for that kind of home quarters position from side control. And in a way, I'm not giving you my arms in that process. Does that make sense? Okay. So, get down here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get down here. Top. So what if we just kept our arms to ourselves instead of reaching out, which allows him to pick that up off the floor and hold me, or get on the inside of it with his knee. Lean on me. Other way. Lean on me. Use this near side knee. Yep, here. Now I'm in trouble. We've also seen it in other ways. In MMA, for example, get down. This is a little arm trap I used to like doing. I'm in half guard. Instead of like going to try to like pass guard and all that stuff, as soon as he would use like this arm to try to push me away, I would clear it and get on top of it. Use it. It's gone. Right? You want to use it? Cool. I'm going to use it against you. Right? So I just pin my weight. Sometimes they can escape, but am I going to get a few good shots in that process? I think so. So it's like, for a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, they're seeing it in terms of like, well, this is what I've been doing in grappling. I would do the same thing I would in a fight. It's like, would you? Right? That's a liability, extending your arm in that regard. Okay? So I'm able to use this and pin this to the ground. Now it's not really a good thing you want to use. So what if we just cross your arms like a mummy? Okay? And don't even move, right? But I'm going to try to like pin you to the ground. I want you to turn left or right. Yeah, I got to circle over to this side, but I can't really stop you from moving. I can isolate you extremely well if these arms are extended or if I'm able to get on the inside of this arm. From here, move. Give me that same movement. He's not going anywhere. Come here. Top. Mummy position, keeping my arms to myself. Go ahead, pin me, please. Shot. Now I'm turning my back, but I can still move. I'm going to give you my arm. To the inside. I'm going to try to turn. What am I running into here, guys? He's on the inside of my arm. I'm running into the structure of his body here. And if I try to turn the other way, I'm running into the structure of his body as I turn towards him as well. See that? Here I'm kind of like in a log formation where I can roll within his control mechanism. Alright, so, pin me. I want to make sure that this elbow does not veer out, because again, he's going to take that and control me. Go back. Go. I can use the whole of my body to kind of push. There's a little bit of extension here, but it's a short extension. I'm not doing this, giving him a long lever. If anything, it's going to be a short lever. Now, this is a very crude escape. I'm not showing you the whole escape here, but just, I want you to think about that concept. What would side control look like if I didn't have any arms? Would it be easier or harder? Are our arms helping us or hurting us? Does it help us in some ways, but also hurt us? I would say that's probably the more accurate answer. And if we're doing something that's hurting us, why would we do that? Right? Why would we do that? Well, but sometimes I get out, Kenny. Okay, what happens when that doesn't work? What happens when you go against those elite guys or the better guys? Okay, so at the very least, we need to give ourselves the opportunity to at least move. If he can isolate us, he wins. Right? And it's annoying. It zaps my energy. he gets to set other things up, advanced positions, right? And it just kind of, it has this snowball effect, okay? Rolling down a hill, but just starts to get worse and worse and worse. And I don't want that. So anytime we are in side control, we are trying to hide the levers of our body. Even our neck, like how many times are we like extending our neck in certain positions? From standing position and a grappling situation, you know, like if I'm dealing with a wrestler, like am I just doing this? I better be pretty damn confident with my counter wrestling if that's the case. But typically both main guys are going to just stay nice and small. They're not going to give the levers of their body. They're not going to give the levers of their head. Their legs are going to be ready to sprawl, but they're making themselves nice and small. And they're never reaching. If you're reaching, that's going to be, it's poor technique. A superior wrestler will definitely exploit that. Okay, so same kind of idea. And this is something that will transfer itself in all positions. If I'm in mount and I do this, is that a good idea? Probably not. Right? If I'm in side control and I do this, is that a good idea? Like there's kimuras, there's straight arm bars, there's a ton of stuff. Okay? So hiding the arms from that position is crucial. Now let's go back to that initial escape that we were talking about. Without Josh for a second. I'm here, I'm keeping my elbows in tight, I'm keeping my arms to myself. Okay? As I move, I don't turn. Okay? And I don't rotate my hips first, my shoulders here. This is not a strong position. My body needs to move as a unit. Shoulder, hip, shoulder, hip. When I move, they both go at the same time. If I'm twisting, I lose that power of my kinetic chain. Like I'm not strong in that position. I'm like flimsy, right? If I need to move an object that's on top of me, I want to be one unit. I want that tense integrity throughout my body, right? Not necessarily like tension in a good way. I'm not like super freaking tight. Just when my body moves, it goes all together. Okay? It's like when you stack your joints in a line. When I stack my muscles in a line, I become much stronger. Example A. Lean on me. Like put weight on. What's going on with my arm, guys? Is that effective? No. It might be annoying to you. Got a little bit, right? But am I going anywhere? No, that sucks. Am I going to move a grown-ass man with just my left arm, guys? Probably not. Not someone who's like somewhat competent. Anyone past that's like, I'm not only not going to escape, I'll probably get tapped. Okay? Strike out. I'm just going to get stupid with this. Pin and cleat. So, my arms are involved, I guess, but like, really it's my body that's moving. Let's do this. Let's try it like this. So now he's kind of pinned on my chest a little bit, so he has a little bit better of a connection, but it's kind of the same idea. It's way harder for him to control me. So, you can kind of do it like that, but I like my arms here. I like my arms in this kind of mummy position because it gives me a little extra space, and as I bridge, I can give a little bit of an extension with my elbows. It's just a shorter lever that he can't exploit as much as doing something like this. Now, so again, mummy position. I'm going to bridge. I'm going to get myself in this position, right? I can connect my hands together, right? I'm leaning on my head this way. I'm blocking my hip this way, right? And now I can kind of get back to guard. Let's go to the other side. I want to make sure my elbow's on the inside of this arm. Okay? Now, bridge. Get to my V formation. Go to my head, like a circle around north-south. See my hand that's kind of checking your hip? Go back. If I'm just getting to this position, You go around north-south. And I didn't block your hip. Yeah, you can definitely do that, right? You can go around north-south. So when I get to this position, I get that little bridge, I want to make sure that this hand is staying useful. It's blocking that hip, and this is staying, my elbow's really kind of connected to my body. I'm taking away this space from you. If I'm doing this, what would you do? You mount. Yeah, mount. Or get this arm, get an underhook. Start messing with me. Does that follow? So when I'm here, this is staying nice and tight. This moves as a unit. I bridge and I get stable. I'm heavy on this arm with my head. My foot is on the floor, right? I can keep it off the floor for a little bit, but as soon as he decides to start moving, I need to put this on the floor. This is how I create power. This is how I create motion. I can rotate through this way. Okay? This is staying tight. Now, let's do a test of this position. Get on the side of your hip. Cool. Now, no, go back to where you were before.
Oh, up there? Yeah.
Right, so this is what we typically do. And we're like, get on the side of your hip. This is all they tell us, basically, for escapes. Right? Stay there. And I want you to resist my force coming at you. I'm just going to lean on you. Okay. Sorry. Get out.
Oh, it just got rolled right over.
Right. Okay. So let's adjust that position. Roll that shoulder down a little bit more. Okay. Cool. Stay right there. It's not gonna work. I don't think so anyway. Cool. All right. It did not work. All right, what do we need to do with our hips? Are you in a V or a triangle formation? Scoot your hip back a little more. Yep, rotate your hip down as well. Your shoulder and hips are going to move as one unit. This is going to stay here, right? This looks a little bit better. I'm going to try to run you over. I can move the whole of his body, but I cannot pin him back to the floor. This is what we want to do. Come back. Do it again. Sorry, so let's do the bridge. Get up. Where's your elbow? Yes, sir. Good. Yep. Beautiful. I almost feel like I did that to myself. I was, that was a nice smooth escape. Let's try it again. Now I'm going to get tricky. Okay, not bad. Not bad. This foot is coming off the ground a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's go back. And good job checking my hip here. Do it again.
Without the hand there?
No, you can't. You keep it here. Instead of pushing it out. Here's the problem. What's wrong with this? Checking my hip right now. Yeah, I can pick it up off the floor. You're giving me a gift here. Mummy position. Keep your arms and hands inside the bus at all times. Here we go. Now, this is tough. I really can't get on the inside of the elbow. I feel like you're kind of in that log position right now where you can rotate within my points of control. And you can kind of bridge me and then change your shape. No. That's not enough. You went too early. Go back. Okay. So let's see. Come over here.
This is through.
Yeah. Let it go. Now, no. So, don't worry about me. Don't try to move me. Move yourself in that regard. As soon as you had that bridge, you were great. Bridge. Now, don't keep trying to move me. Get your ass away from me. There you go. That's what you want. Now bring this elbow on the inside, connect it to your hip. Nope. Just bring this in. Yep. This is going to come here. Yep. Keep this in. There you go. That's it. That's it. Now you've strengthened your position. Now you escape. Yeah. That feels different. If I just try to escape straight away, And it may work, right? I can just put me right back to the floor. Right? And now I'm ready for that bridge. I'm ready for all those things. So just be aware of, push them off, get to your strong position, make that V, that triangle.